Well, I'm very bullish on India personally. So Juspay, we're a Bangalore headquartered growth stage fintech backed by SoftBank, Excel, etc. And we've been largely focused domestically in our kind of 12 years of existence, but for the past 2 years where we're really beginning to expand internationally. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One, we have been very successful in the India market in terms of, as I say, providing kind of payments infrastructure and services to others. But we think by virtue of doing that at scale in a very complex, ever-evolving market like India, we think we can kind of take some of that capability and apply it elsewhere. Now, that's specific to us, but if you think about the India story more generally, clearly at a macro level, I think people are pretty bullish on India, and certainly if you spend time, at least on the technology side, in Bangalore, in some of these kind of tech-forward cities, I think we'll see a lot more outbound activity, players like ourselves taking that capability, that engineering talent in particular, and applying it to other markets,
India, of course, being a huge population, similar to China, and facing somewhat arguably similar challenges that China faces as well around sort of demographics and consumption. But what do you think India could learn from China, given where China is at in that ecosystem?
Yeah, great question. Look, I think for fintech generally, I mean, I myself have been based in APAC up until recently for about 10 or 12 years. So we were always looking to China in terms of specifically the growth of kind of some of the super apps, the kind of leapfrogging, if you like, of some of the payment capabilities and functionality. And I think China has been an exemplar perhaps for other markets in that regard. Similarly, or comparably, I would say these days, India with the success of UPI in particular and the growth of kind of digital finance, India itself is proving to be quite an exemplar for markets like Brazil with Pix and others. So I would say the kind of short answer is both of these markets are very different, but equally I think there's lessons to be learned on both sides, and that's where events like Sidebus help, right? There's a lot of kind of cross-border collaboration as well.
And you mentioned super apps. This seems to be a sort of another buzzword, and particularly that we're hearing in the headlines out of the US, everyone from Elon Musk to out of Uber as well, that have been sort of making headlines as trying to achieve this. Here in China, this has been something that we've seen for many, many years. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, look, far be it for me to disagree with Elon Musk. I am personally a little bit skeptical as to the future of super apps, so-called super apps, in the West, or indeed, frankly, outside of China. I mean, the growth of Alipay and WeChat Pay ecosystems has been relatively unique, I would say, to the market in terms of the development of China, where it was at. They are effectively operating as entire ecosystems. And I think in many developed markets or Western markets, we already have our ride-hailing app, our e-commerce app, all of these individual applications. It's unlikely, in my opinion, to see all of them kind of merge together as one kind of super app. So I'm personally a little bit skeptical, but let's see.